to our friends online as well. Just have to wait for a few more people to take their seats and we'll go ahead. So today is another full moon meditations. Here we are again. Hi. Today's topic or scheme of today is holiday harmony in family in the holiday season. So yeah, that will be the topic of today that our teaching will be talking about. I apologize. I had to. Yeah, listening to myself talking is not a good idea. So yeah, I had to keep an eye on people on Zoom as well. So we have people on Zoom as well as in person today. So yeah, so welcome. And so today's schedule will be a 10 minutes exercise. Today we have May over there. Will be doing leading exercise for just a small stretching before we do any meditation, and introducing our speaker, which is teaching monk today, Lungpi Nicholas. Guided meditation, and we have in front of us the candles that will be lighting candles for the full moon, and etc. Today we kind of present it with the hearts, and with our first idea we're going to do Christmas tree, but then again I think something like we say maybe we give you a bit of big hearts and small hearts and stuff, which is kind of nice. And so after that we'll do loving kindness meditation, just to sending, giving all this good energy out, spread out loving kindness to the world. And wisdom talk by Lungpi Nicholas, and reflection and Q&A if any of us have any questions or whatever to talk about, and about meditation or things in general. So yeah, next one will be exercise with May. So may I present you May? Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Nat. And good evening, everyone. Let's have something comfy. Could you please stand up? And first, I'd like to invite everyone to place the mind at the center of your body to prepare for meditation. And take a deep breath. Breathe in the cool, calm, relaxing air. And breathe out to release your worries, your thoughts, and responsibilities. You take 3 more deep breaths and see if you can place the mind at the center of your body. You may keep smiling or gently close your eyes. When we breathe in, we take a deep breath. And when we breathe out, we take a long breath. Breathe in, deep breath out. And let's start with exercise. We're gonna exercise our neck first. We're gonna draw the line by your nose, upward and downward. Yes. And don't forget to take a deep breath. Okay, let's start 3 times. Breathe in. Look up to the sky. Breathe out slowly, chin to chest. Breathe in, look up to the sky. Breathe out, chin to chest. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Again, we will draw a line by your nose, left to right. Okay, breathe in. And breathe out to the right. Breathe in. Breathe out. One last time. Breathe in to the left. And breathe out to the right. Now, back to the center. We're gonna draw a circle by your nose. Okay. Let's make a small circle and grow it up. Okay. From clockwise first. Okay. Don't forget your breath. Make it bigger. And slowly okay, we're gonna reverse to anti-clockwise. And then we're gonna stretch our shoulder. Yeah. We're gonna roll forward for 10 times. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Backward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. And then we're gonna stretch our arms, palm downward. And then on the right arm, we're gonna grab our left ear. Okay. Count from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, release. And you're gonna do another side. Yeah, your right arms. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, we're gonna stretch this left arm, not high at this, just something like this, and the fingertip point to the sky. Yeah. And we grab our left ear with the right hand. How do you feel? Okay. Don't forget to take a deep breath. I'm gonna count for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, release. Okay, another side. Your left arm, your fingertip point to the sky. And grab your left ear. Grab your right ear with your left hand. Take a deep breath while I count for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Grab your hand and put it at your back, your neck. You're gonna look downward and press the elbow down for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're gonna be a Christmas tree. Put your palms up. Make yourself as a tree. When the wind comes onto the right side, so our tree will go to the left. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, the wind come to the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. And then we're gonna bend our knee 10 times. Bend, not roll. Bend, just bend. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then the last one, we're gonna roll our ankle on the right side, at right angle. Yeah. I count for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we lift the knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. Okay, well done. Okay, another side. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then lift it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That's all for today for exercise. I hope you will enjoy our meditation session. Thank you.
Thank you, Tupi May, so much. I think we need to work on the clicky knees. Maybe we do more of that next time. It's wonderful. So, for today, our teaching monk is Dr. Nicholas Thanisaro. Just to say a little bit about Lumpin Nicholas Thanisaro. But before we do that, if anyone would like to pay respect to the Lord Buddha by bowing 3 times. Bow, bow, bow. And if anyone would like to pay respect to our teaching monk by bowing 3 times. Bow, bow, bow. Dr. Nicholas Thanisaro is a Buddhist monk for 24 years standing and with 30 years of meditation experience. He is a UK Complementary Medical Association qualified teacher of meditation, affiliated with the Dhammakaya Foundation. He is also qualified as a school teacher and MBTI practitioner. As a scholar practitioner, during his time as Associate Fellow at University of Warwick, he published widely in peer-reviewed journals on the formation of Buddhist identity in teenagers and continues to research the appeal of meditation in the West. He currently lectures in Living Buddhism and Religious Individualization at Clemens School of Theology, California, and Willamette University, Oregon. So today, our teaching monk will be talking about the harmony in the family in the holiday season. So over to Lumpitaka. Thank you.
So welcome everybody, both those of you who are joining us in person here in Woking in England and those of you who are joining us online for the European Dhammakaya meditation that we have every Saturday night. So we have our European full moon meditation today, and I would like to start by thanking Natalie for a glowing introduction and also May for a soothing meditation exercise. So I hope everyone is feeling relaxed and comfortable, which will be perfect for the practice of meditation. But before I lead you through a short session of meditation, for those of you who never meditated before, I would like to explain that the meditation that we're working with deals with a part of ourself that we might call our attention or our awareness. So, although we call it the mind, but we don't mean our brain or our nervous system, but we mean a part of ourself that often gets pulled away from us by the busy things in our lives, the things around us. It's very good to be attentive to the things in our lives, but sometimes our awareness gets pulled away so much that it's very hard to get it back again. And meditation is one way where we can take our awareness back from all the things around us and bring it back within the space of our body instead. So meditation is any method that allows us to bring our attention back within the space of our body. And although there are different ways to practice meditation, generally they are only differentiated by the different things that they use as the lure to get the meditation awareness back within the space of the body. There is a special place inside the body which is very special, where we would really like our awareness to settle, if at all possible. And that is a little spot that you can see blinking somewhere in the area of your solar plexus, or at the very center of your diaphragm. The place where if you breathe in, then the breath stops for a moment before it turns around to go back out again. So the question is, how can we get our mind to go to that place? Within the meditation technique that we favor here in this center, generally we use some sort of visualization, so we conjure up a picture in our mind, something like a picture of the sun shining, or today, as it's the full moon day, you can think of the full moon, but in this instance, you picture the moon or the sun as if it appears in the middle of your tummy, instead of being out there in the sky. For as long as you can keep your awareness with that picture inside yourself, then your mind will also stay at the center of the body. If it happens that your mind wanders away to something else, then you just bring it back again to that picture. If the picture disappears, then you can think of the picture or a different one all over again. And if the picture changes, then you just follow it in its new form. Generally, with any meditation, then we don't just jump straight in and do meditation, but we have a little bit of preparation first of all. Our exercise just now is a very good inroad into meditation, but we need to make sure for the first 5 minutes of any meditation that our body is relaxed. So generally we make sure we're comfortable, and some people like to sit cross-legged for meditation, other people like to sit on a straight back chair, but however you sit, the best way to put your hands together is with the right hand on top of the left hand and the index finger of your right hand up against the thumb of your left hand, and your hands just rest palm upwards in your lap. After that, we scan down through our body, making sure every muscle of our body is relaxed, doing what's known as a body scan. After that, we also spend 5 minutes relaxing our mind, which means generally putting aside any worries or concerns that may be lingering on our mind for the moment. You might think that during the meditation we ought to be getting rid of our thoughts, but in fact, just by wishing the thoughts away, sometimes you can get rid of 80% of the thoughts even before you start the meditation, which is always an advantage. After that, we focus at the center of our body, also known as base number 7, as long as we can, by visualizing or feeling a picture at the center of ourselves. And for anyone who has particular trouble with a lot of thoughts in the mind, then you can try ignoring the thoughts. If you pay them no attention, usually they will go away by themselves. But if the thoughts are rather stubborn and they don't seem to go away very easily, you can make use of a special mantra, which is words that you repeat silently to yourself as if you hear the sound of those words coming up from the center of your body. And in our tradition, we tend to use the words Samma Arahang, but in case you don't particularly like those words, or you're more familiar with some other mantra, you can make up a mantra of your own, or you can replace it with something more familiar to you. But the important thing is to have some words passing continuously through your mind. That will help to clear your mind of thoughts. So we're going to sit for meditation now for about 30 minutes. And what is special about tonight's full moon meditation is about halfway through, then we're going to get up and light the candles, which you can see in front of us today, and then go back to do our loving kindness meditation practice. Any of you who are following from home might like to find a little tea light or something that you can light. I hear they even switch on their flashlight on their phone these days. It doesn't seem quite so sacred as lighting a candle somehow, but whatever you like, or you might make sure that you can see the full moon clearly from where you're sitting for your meditation. So we're going to sit for meditation now for about a half an hour. The meditation I'm going to lead today is entitled Meditation Benefits in the Here and Now. Start by finding a comfortable position for yourself in the meditation. Find a position by which you feel you could sit for a long, long time without having to move around too much. Your posture should be as comfortable as possible, resting either on a cushion, a pillow, or maybe sitting on a straight-back chair. If you're sitting cross-legged, then you may be able to bring your knees to the floor ideally. If not, then support your knees with blankets or towels so that you get a good, stable, tripod-like posture to be able to sit for your meditation without having to move around too much. And in this way, you can bring your spine up nice and tall to fill your spine with energy. At the same time, you can let your lower lumbar region relax to its natural shape. Allow your hands to rest palm upwards in your lap. With the right hand over the left hand, the index finger of the right hand touching against the thumb of the left hand. The way you close your eyes should be as gentle as possible. Or if you prefer, you can cast your gaze softly at the floor in front of you, allowing your eyes to defocus. And invite a sense of softness to the face. Feel the folds in the skin of the forehead relax. Feel the space between the eyebrows soften. And make sure your eyelids are as relaxed as possible. If you observe carefully, you'll notice that even your eyeballs can relax. And allow that sense of softness to flow down through your temples in a gentle wave. Your lips touch only lightly together as the mouth relaxes. The tongue softens within the mouth. The tip of your tongue might rest lightly on the roof of your mouth. And the jawline softens. We relax our neck and throat, finding softness in their length and openness. We let our shoulders relax away from our ears and let the elbows rest at the sides of the body. And you can also let your belly soften. Also relax your legs all the way down to your feet and your toes, so that your whole body feels light in weight, almost as if it has disappeared into the atmosphere around you. Turning your attention inward, you can let your attention gently peel away from the outside world. In the same way, you can relax your state of mind, putting aside any worries or concerns in your life, as if you were alone in the world, a person with no past and no future, entirely focused in the present moment and on the task in hand. Conjuring up a sense of well-being within yourself, as if well-being were made up of tiny particles inside yourself, particles of happiness and joy that grow and spread inside you to fill the whole of your body and mind, leaving no space inside yourself for any other sort of thought. And when we feel relaxed both in body and in mind, very gently, using no effort at all, we imagine our whole body to be nothing but an empty space or a hollow cavity, with no organs or tissues, muscles or bones. Or instead you may imagine your body to have been transformed into a sort of transparent bubble with nothing on the inside. And when you're ready, again, very gently, using no effort at all, remember back to that picture of the bright shining sun or full moon that you had a few moments ago. Maybe yellow or gold in color, white or red. It doesn't matter if the actual picture is not as clear as you normally see it with your eyes. Even if it's vague, accept it anyway. And there may be some people who feel the warmth of the sun but don't actually see it. Again, you can use that tactile sense of warmth as an object for your meditation. And in this case, we allow that bright picture or that feeling of warmth to make its way gently downwards inside the space of our body, almost as if we were gradually breathing it down to the deepest point of our breath, or gently swallowing the object down to the very pit of our stomach. And once the bright object or the sense of warmth reaches that point in our abdomen, there's no need for us to move it anywhere else anymore. We maintain it gently with a feather-light touch at the very center of ourselves. If we find our awareness wandering away onto other things, like the sounds around us, distractions around us, each time we realize, we just bring our attention back to the center of our body as before. The inner object disappears, we can conjure up a new one, it's not a big deal. And when we're new to meditation, we'll find that our mind wanders often. But each time we bring it back, it'll become a little bit easier to keep it in place the next time round. Until before long, we'll find that our awareness is spending more time centered than it is wandering. At which point we'll start to have an intuitive feeling of the mind being able to stay at the center almost by second nature. And to help to create a space between yourself and your thoughts, we tap into that still, silent space. If thoughts return, we do our best to ignore them. But if ignoring the thoughts proves ineffective, we can make use of our traditional mantra, hearing the sound of the words Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, coming up as if the source of the sound is at the center of our body. And the more you say the mantra, the more power you give to the words of the mantra. And they will start to lead the mind deeper towards a sense of purity in the mind. So feel these words resonating within your heart, within every cell, every fiber of your being, with every repetition of the mantra. With meditation, as with exercise, practice makes perfect. But we don't just exercise for exercise's sake. We exercise for the benefits of strength and health in our everyday lives. In the same way, we meditate not just for meditation's sake, but to impact our everyday lives in a positive way. Although there are long-term esoteric conceptual goals of awakening, of nirvana, of enlightenment, these can be regarded as distant goals that you can head towards while, for the interim, focusing on the benefits to you in the here and now in your life. So what are the benefits of meditation in the here and now? Perhaps benefits that are also supported by scientific research. It can be asserted that there is no other single intervention done each day that matches the benefits to our lives of bringing the mind to the center of the body in meditation. Our daily activities never influence our well-being independent of one another. But obviously, besides keeping healthy, exercising daily, eating well, keeping up therapy, keeping a journal, or other forms of self-care, if you were to do just one thing for yourself, the most important single contribution to your well-being would be meditation at the center of the body. What meditation at the center of the body does is that it gives you the skills to detach. It allows you to see reality as it is, for what it is. It gives you the power to stand back from your thoughts as they arise and not get trapped by them. Without meditation, it's like going through life half asleep, for want of a better expression, going through life leapfrogging from one distraction to the next. If a thought or emotion or a mood pops up and we get trapped by it, then we just react. We get angry. We get jealous. We feel attraction. Or we say and do something that we may later regret. We may feel afraid. We may feel depressed. We may feel fearful of the future. At times when we're in this sort of reactive mindset, we just react based on the thoughts that we've been trapped by. And when we're trapped in those thoughts, then it's very hard to know what to do, because they become our reality. But there is an antidote, and the antidote is meditation. Bringing our focus back within the space of our body. If the mind wanders, and acknowledging that, but gently and calmly turning our focus back to the center of the body. Little by little, we'll start to gain control of our mind and start to get independence from the way our thoughts affect us. And if we practice it regularly, every day, until bringing our mind to the center of the body becomes like second nature to us, then there will be many benefits that come to us from this practice, apart from simply taking back control of our mind from our thoughts. And the benefits of meditation are so widely recognized that currently the majority of medical professionals give their backing to meditation. In Britain, more than 2/3 of general practitioners agreed that it would be helpful for their patients to learn meditation techniques, even for those without any health problems. And that more doctors don't recommend meditation to their patients is really only limited by the knowledge of and access to appropriate meditation resources. It's been found that meditation can change the shape of one's brain, with Canadian researchers finding that in meditators the areas of the brain which regulate pain and emotion were significantly thicker as compared to those who didn't meditate, meaning that sensitivity to pain is lowered in meditators, and this potential for change, known as neuroplasticity, means that when you sit to meditate, you're not only changing your perspective, but you're actually changing the physical structure of the brain. Apart from raising the pain threshold, meditation is also known to reduce negativity in the mind more generally, because meditation reduces the intensity of toxic emotions. Neuroscientists recently discovered that people who meditate experience negative emotions less intensely than those who do not. And even the simple practice of labeling the emotions allows us to detach in a good way, giving us the chance to step back from negativity. We become more able to choose the thoughts that we want to listen to. And if we are in the moment, in our everyday life, if something happens, for example, to make us angry, rather than just instantly responding, we're able to take a little breath, a mindful moment, and take a different decision instead. And being able to have control in this way has benefits in every aspect of our lives. With the decisions about our diet, consumption of intoxicants, relationships, friends, family, work ethic, or exercise regime. We become less attached to the thoughts that just pop up randomly. And we're able to overcome moments of low motivation or boredom, instead of listening to the thoughts that say we can't be bothered. Instead of accepting those thoughts as our reality, we realize that our reality is that we're just observing those thoughts, and those thoughts are not us. So rather than just acquiescing, we push through and do the exercise, push through and clean the house, push through to study or start the business. We're able to engage in more challenging conversations with our loved ones and close friends, enabling us to understand them better on a deeper level. And we'll be able to tell the difference between the things that we want and the things that are imposed on us. And it all comes back to a dedicated meditation practice. It all comes back to returning our focus to the center of the body repeatedly, until we gain full control of our mental state. Meditation is also known to unwind the harmful effects of stress, as can be seen with blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and even heart disease. It boosts the immune system by what's known as the relaxation response. It's been shown to reduce anxiety. Even after 2 months of meditation, 90% of those with generalized anxiety disorder were able to reduce their anxiety and depression. And this effect continued for up to 3 years after their initial trial. That anxiety and depression are reduced by meditation has been verified by a whole raft of different studies, which show the far-reaching effect on the symptoms across a wide range of health disorders. Even if your stress levels are not affecting your health, meditation improves performance under stress, helping to offset the loss of mental performance in stressful situations, and maintaining peak performance, whether it be for first responders, relief workers, trauma surgeons, or even professional athletes. Meditation helps people meet deadlines, with researchers finding that practitioners showed significant improvements in their cognitive skills, even after only 4 days of meditation training, doing particularly well on physical and mental tasks requiring sustained attention, even under time constraints. And for those suffering from sleeplessness, meditation can reduce the time it takes to get to sleep. Meditation has been incorporated as an integral component of treatment for insomnia, allowing sufferers to reduce their reliance on medication and halving the average time spent getting to sleep. So for now, we continue to cultivate our mind on track at the center of our body, bearing in mind all the ways in which meditation can reduce the negativity in the mind. So we cultivate the brightness at the center of our body in preparation for lighting up the candles for our full moon meditation today. So now that our peace, energy, and the brightness at the center of our body become unified inside ourselves, we continue to maintain our mind in the ocean of peace energy while we slowly open our eyes and prepare to light the candles that we have prepared for our little ceremony today. So now is the time for us to illuminate the world by lighting the little candles that we have prepared, feeling that candle light radiating warm and bright, with the candle as a symbol of our inner light, our peace energy, and our positive intention on this occasion. So at this time, if you'd like to come up and light the candles together, I think our volunteers will help to light the initial candles for us to start out.
Tanang
continue to connect with the positive feeling inside as the mind slows down, gradually slowing down to touch the center space, reconnecting with the inner brightness within ourselves. Just as we have the brightness of the candles that we have lit on the outside, we allow the same brightness to come within the space of our bodies, lighting up the inner space of our minds, to bring all the benefits that come from a mind that is centered and bright within ourselves. It is known that apart from reducing negativity in the mind, meditation boosts all the positive aspects of our mind as well, activating the parts of the brain related to happiness, the parts of the brain associated with resilience and optimism, which become more active even in those who have only meditated for 2 months, with the corresponding increased feelings of happiness and well-being within ourselves. Meditation is known to enhance the quality of life by preventing relapse into depression. And the enhanced quality of life is much better than those who rely on medication to get the same effects. Not only does the enhanced quality of life affect the people who meditate, but even those around them seem to benefit as well, almost as if meditation were a form of social good, or a form of altruism in a sense. You can imagine what the world would be like if everyone could take a deep breath, calm down and just detach a bit from their innate biases, from their moods and stresses, anxiety and anger, rather than just reacting, saying or doing something in the wake of heightened emotionality. Imagine how good the world would be if we could just be a little bit more detached, a little bit more aware of how our mental states impact the words and actions in our lives. And it's also not a myth that meditation can help make a person's complexion more radiant. Meditation's been shown to clear treatable skin conditions related to psychological stress, whether it's conditions like psoriasis. Meditators' skin cleared 4 times more quickly than expected. And meditation is also related to self-control. Even after just a few days of meditation, there is increased blood flow to the parts of the brain involved with control of emotions and behavior, which is why the practice of meditation, even for short periods of time, has become an essential part of rehabilitation from disorders of various sorts, concerning intoxicants or smoking or binge eating. It's been shown that meditation helps keep a person bright and alert, since the reduction of grey matter normally associated with aging has been found to be offset by meditation, with significantly better accuracy and speed of response amongst meditators than normally would be expected for a person of their age. So for all the benefits I've described today, although a mere fraction of benefits seen in the here and now, they are all substantial reasons to try to bring some meditation into your daily life. It may be the most important single intervention that you've ever made in your life. So for now, we continue to focus on our inner object at the center of ourselves, bringing our mind back from any untoward thoughts or emotions by means of our mantra, as we make good wishes for ourselves and others on the basis of the meditation and the brightness both inside and out that we have cultivated today. Sape Buddha Palapata Pache Kananchayam Palang Arahantananja Te Jena Rakam Bandami Sapaso Sapabuddhanupavena Sapadhammanupavena Sapasankhanupavena Satha Soti Bhavantu Te. So if you'd like to come to the end of your meditation for today, you can gradually open your eyes again. If you feel at all uncomfortable, then slowly try changing to a more comfortable position before gradually finishing your meditation practice for today. So we choose the full moon day as a special opportunity to meditate together, whether we are joining together in our centers around Europe or joining online. Some of us are affected more or less by the lockdown restrictions at the moment, so it's always good to be able to have a hybrid mode to join the meditation. And the full moon is said to be a special time because traditionally, especially in the Eastern culture, it's said or felt that there's more spiritual energy around during the full moon time as a time to join together to do something special, especially to do with meditation. So it's said to be a time when it's easy for us to meditate more than at other times in the month. And I don't know how many of you have actually seen the full moon tonight. I think in England anyway, it's rather cloudy, but maybe around Europe it's a little bit more visible. But we do come this month to the final full moon of the year. The full moon on the December the 18th is the last full moon of the year, and we'll be able to say goodbye to 2021 before long. But it's also a time for us to reflect and to plan and to reflect also on the year that's passed by as we move into the year 2022 under this full moon energy. Sometimes the full moon at this time of the year is given a special name, the cold moon or the long night moon, because it comes during the darkest and coldest time of the year in the Northern Hemisphere anyway. And the nights are particularly long at this time of the year, and we have the chance to see the moon at night for longer, because the night is much longer for us to see it in. And we are close also to the winter solstice. In other words, the shortest day of the year, reminding us that spring will soon be coming back again. But from this point onwards, then the days will start to lengthen, allowing us to get ready for the birth of the new season. But it's also a time for us to evaluate all that we have learned this year, mull it over, and integrate into it the new plans and goals for the upcoming year. And the full moon will help us to kick off exactly with this energy. So whether there are any culminations and conclusions and realizations and epiphanies which you've had during this year, then it's a time to reflect on all those things. And full moons are said to be a time to think about balance, often between opposing forces in our lives, the pressures or the circumstances. And it might be a time when we can reach towards a deeper compassion for ourselves and for others, and to dig deeper for a balance between the two. Perhaps a balance between logic and intuition, between personal truth and collective truth, and between learning and knowing, between home and family. Perhaps to reflect on how we are spending our time in our work and our family, or if we're neglecting either aspect of our lives. Because the full moons are often said to symbolize the feedback in our lives, almost like a mirror. We can learn to see more clearly into the circumstances that come up at this time of year. As for the winter solstice, cue the picture of Stonehenge. It's actually on the 21st of December. And it's a time when the Earth's axis tilts furthest from the sun, at least in the northern hemisphere. And although the length of the day differ from different parts of the world, for example, it can be 9 hours long in New York, or it can be only less than 6 hours long if you're in Finland. The actual word solstice comes from the Latin for the sun stands still. And if you're a meditator, then maybe that has a special meaning for you, that the inner sun inside us can come to a standstill at the center of our body as well. But in many cultures, the solstice was seen as a time of death and rebirth. And Stonehenge is thought to have been a way of tracking this particular time of the year where we move from darkness back into light again. And it would be a time when the Scandinavians particularly would bring in the Yule log from the hearth in order to attract the sun's warmth back in the spring months again. So, it may not be something that we look forward to, the cold of this time of the year, but we can look forward to the hours and the warmth gradually increasing as we move back towards the spring equinox. But the main topic which I wanted to talk about today is looking after our well-being and possibly mental health over this festive season. It's become more and more of a topic. While everyone's having a jolly ho-ho-ho time, a lot of other people are really feeling under the weather for various reasons. So it would seem that a lot of people are talking not about celebrating Christmas these days, but surviving Christmas. Yes. And the main theme of our full moon is really looking after our subjective well-being, in spite of the possible things that come up as obstacles to that. So family harmony in the festive season, I should say, is not just about family, but there are as many 5 things which we might need to make sure that we survive at this time of the year, whether it's uncertainty or close contact with our families, some people surviving loneliness, others surviving grief, or even something as simple as surviving a lack of sleep. As for uncertainty, well, no one knows where the pandemic is going, especially with COVID numbers rising, and we're all feeling rather anxious about the weeks to come. Last year, the rug was pulled out from under us when Christmas was virtually cancelled. In the first world countries, we have things like this to worry about. We worry about things like a turkey shortage, but we ought to consider ourselves lucky that we get to worry about things like that instead of worrying about getting frostbite in a Belarusian forest somewhere. And although we are not exactly out of the woods, but we have many new experiences this year which we can look back on with nostalgia, like drive-by birthdays and booster shots, which prove fun in a strange sort of way. We may see the value of our families more, especially if we are reduced to or limited to only 3 families being able to join up, as they are doing in Scotland at the moment. And if you are feeling not very positive about all of this, it may be because you are lacking sunlight, in which case you may be suffering from what's known as seasonal affective disorder. And you can get Amazon to deliver your SAD lamp, SAD lamp, to supplement your sunshine and maybe take a little bit more vitamin D and to get out in the fresh air where you can, because it's said that being out in the fresh air helps you to take advantage of your brain's neuroplasticity, and you get more serotonin from oxygenating your brain and more oxytocin from meeting up with friends wherever possible. Loneliness, for those of us with families, it's all well and good. We can tolerate our families or try to get on with them, but some people don't have families, and it can be a time of the year where people feel loneliness particularly acutely. You might think of the elderly, but in fact even young people. It's said that 1 in 10 adults between 25 and 34 years of age feel a lot of loneliness at this time of the year. So if it's the case that you are feeling this way inclined, then try to structure your time, think ahead, and plan what you might eat, read, and watch, and any exercise that you might do at this time of the year. Also making the effort to connect with people who you know. If you keep in contact with others, then it may help to ward off or at least manage those feelings you might have of loneliness, and to address any of the feelings which you might have. And it's worth rethinking your expectations at this time of the year. because sometimes we allow our TV watching or social media to give us so many constructs that we are always comparing ourselves with others, and this can be the cause of a lot of those negative feelings that we feel less valuable or less lovable as a result. Loneliness can be particularly acute for those who have lost a loved one in the past year, so spare a moment to think of anyone who has lost a loved one, maybe is facing Christmas this time for the first year without that loved one. It can be particularly hard for them to handle. For a person who's grieving, and it may be a time to pair up with anyone who you know has gone through that sort of experience lately and help them to plan. And it may be that they simply don't want to be around for Christmas, and it's easier for them to just do something completely different at this time of year, like volunteering, let's say in a soup kitchen, or going away somewhere else, sunny perhaps, in order to just have a completely different experience without the reminders coming back to them. Lack of sleep is said to be an issue at Christmas. I can't think why. Maybe waiting for Santa Claus. Yeah, but some people say that eating too much, drinking too much. You probably know what I'm going to say about alcohol and moderation generally, so I won't go into that too much. But it's said that a lot of people actually enjoy this time of the year less because they have very different sleep patterns. So that might be something which you want to keep track of for yourself in order to help you to survive at this time of the year. And as for family, well, family are great, aren't they? They help us to preserve our sense of well-being in this time of the year. And sometimes there's a lot of pressure to be the perfect family or to be have the perfect expectations. But sometimes we need to let go of that perfectionism in order to really to be present with what we actually have. And in this respect, sometimes there's a lot of material pressure to have expensive gifts or thoughtful gifts or gifts that show that we have understand the people in our family. But the potential is always there for resentment if we're not careful. And perhaps it's useful for me to point out that really Christmas is not just about giving things to people in a material way. And within the wisdom tradition of Buddhism, there are said to be 4 things which are ways in which we can really cement the bonds of friendship with those around us. And only one of those is to do with gift giving. So that would be the generosity in this particular picture. But also the way we talk to others, the thoughtfulness of the things we say to others, expressing the real compassion through the things that we converse with other people can be very important as well, especially for people who are feeling down or lacking encouragement. Then being able to give the right words at the right time to give a person a pick-me-up when they are feeling forgotten or lonely or grieving. This can be particularly powerful. Not only that, but going out of our way to help others, maybe consider the people who are less fortunate than ourselves at the Christmas time or during the festive season, then this would be particularly effective as a way to cement those bonds of friendship. And last but not least, sometimes we don't put a great deal of emphasis on it, but sometimes just being there for a person or being available for a person doesn't actually mean that you have to do very much actively. But the fact that you are there for a person and, in a sense, you do what they expect of you can be very powerful, especially in these times of uncertainty when there's so much changing, but we are the constant in a person's life. Then that could be really valuable in a way that puts people's mind at rest. Because it's said that all people are needy, no matter how wealthy or well provided for they might be. they are always lacking in resources or encouragement, lacking in someone to give them a helping hand, or lacking a sense of security. So any of these 4 things that we can give to others, it helps those people to think of us even when we are not around them. And really, I would think that this time of the year is especially about that sort of thing, especially about this sense of caring, especially about the sense of authenticity which we have with those who we love or those who are close to us at this time of the year. So this time is our December full moon meditation, and the next time we will see you for the full moon will be in the cold month of January. Sometimes we like to promise an outdoor meditation, but I think we won't be promising this quite yet. But our July full moon meditation will be on the Tuesday, the 18th of January. Also available on this Zoom channel, which some of you are watching. And the theme will be the power of hope for a brighter tomorrow. So sort of New Year's resolutions sort of theme. For DMEU, the Zoom channel on every Saturday evening, and not just on full moon days, but every Saturday, there will be a meditation and a wisdom talk, normally taking about 1 hour in English, which you can access via Zoom between 7 and 8 p.m. on British time and between 8 and 9 on European time. Next Saturday's talk will be by the Venerable Sander, and it will be on Christmas Day, because that's a Saturday. And don't worry, it won't clash with the Queen's royal Christmas message. But it will be entitled A Long Life Worth Living. So ways to increase your longevity. So if you want to find out about that, then tune in at between 7 and 8. To encourage those of you to meditate at home, even offline, there's also an app which has been used to gather together all the audio tracks for meditation and instruction, also theory and background for meditation, which you can download for free for iOS or Android. Even if you are offline, you can listen on your mobile phone and set the time that you would like to meditate and listen to instruction for part of that time if you wish to. News for Europe generally is that we hope that COVID is going to go away by the summer, and we are planning in that eventuality that we will be able to have our European monk ordination program for 2022, and it will start on the 4th of June. Normally it's a 1-month program, but at a pinch it can be 2 weeks long for any gentleman who would like to try out being a monk for 2 weeks. And generally that will be held at our big center in Ghent in Belgium, but it may be subject to revision depending on the numbers involved. Also for our weekend retreats here in London, we have a retreat planned for the weekend of 18th to the 20th of March. It will be an 8 precepts retreat normally, and you're welcome to sign up for that on the temple website. So this holiday season, instead of us focusing on things that may upset us within the constrained limitations of the pandemic and so on, we should try to shift our attention and focus on things that we can do within these circumstances. And although we may be with our loved ones or we may be separated from our loved ones, we don't know, but there are many ways which we can express our compassion even without being up close or even physically with them. There are many ways in which we can express our compassion. As I've said, it's not just about the presence and the gifts, but it's also about what we say, which we can do at a distance, the things that we can help with, also do at a distance, and just being there for people sometimes, which is also important as well. So we try to focus on what we can do, and it will help to make this time of the year something special for us, instead of being a time of heightened expectations and then things that we miss out on instead. So I hope you enjoyed the full moon meditation today, whether it was in person or online. And if you have any feedback or comments and so on, we would be interested to hear from you at this time, and Natalie will now host any questions, reflections, or comments that you would like to share.
Thank you, Chaka Lung Pi. Satu. So, question times. So, is our friends online, Zoom, have any question at all? Would like to send in the message, you can, or anyone here would like to ask any question with Lung Pi, or anything at all? Yeah, it's by all means. I know after meditation you kind of feel so relaxed and still in this sort of meditative mode, and you don't really want to say anything, and you just want to kind of sink into that feelings. So it just, yeah, no question asked. But it wonderful, yeah, so lovely and so relaxed. And, you know, so then we can bring it out in our daily life, and especially this Christmas or festive seasons coming. It's going to be so much of chaos and, you know, chaotic outer world, but make sure we stay in that tune of being this, you know, relaxed and mindful and at ease in that situations. Because, you know, sometime in this time of year, going somewhere is not easy. Traffic's everywhere. People, you know, shopping in the shops everywhere and full up. Yeah. So it's a wonderful subject about, you know, harmony within yourself and with the family and everything. But thank you everyone for being here today, and really, you know, hope you enjoy and hope to see you next year and have a wonderful time in this holiday coming. And to everyone on Zoom as well. Oh, someone from Galaxy Tab raised their hand. Yes, go ahead, please. So, do you have any question asked? Galaxy Tab S4, something? I believe is it Rana? Rana, yes. Rana, unfortunately, I think we were muted, all of us, and just need to type in if you'd like to ask any question or say something. So, yeah. Yeah, I believe our microphones are all muted. Our speaker from on Zoom, I think, is muted. So if you'd like to ask, yeah, just send a message and I'll read it out for you. Martin said thank you, and Louise said thank you. It's wonderful. Thank you to Kalungpi. I think Rana going to take about 2 hours of time. Sorry, Rana. Okay. From Rana says, sometimes difficult family relationships. How can we approach to reconcile?
Well, I think it's important to be able to turn over a new leaf, especially if everyone accepts that the current state of affairs is not good for anybody. So I think especially moving into New Year, there ought to be sort of like a ultimatum where you say, let's just forget the past and start afresh and turn a corner on whatever bad blood there has been in the past year, and do a reset completely where we just forget that episode of our past and start again. And it may be a little bit of faking it, but I think at least that gives the space in which something more positive can grow, because for as long as there is something unresolved, then there's no space for something different to emerge. So it's important to create that space, and the forgiving nature, or whether it's self-compassion or compassion for others in your household, is particularly important to allow that to flourish and to move past whatever happens to be blocking that from happening in the year up until now. So maybe New Year is a good opportunity to have that agreement for the whole family to do a reset on the whole of the family relations aspect. Yeah.
Satu Chaka Luang Pi. So I hope Rana can hear that. So yeah, just put everything behind and start again and try, and if it's failed, start again. So yeah. I think, yeah, holiday season is the best time to
Yes, don't give
reconcile.
up on your family.
Okay. So, okay, one more question, Chaka Luang Pi, I believe. What do we say? Thank you so much, Chaka Luang Pi. It's wonderful. Someone, Safia, I have a question. So I get easily distracting during meditation by my own thoughts. I think so much. It's really stressful for me. What can I do?
I'm not sure if you kept up with the thing about the mantra just now. If the mantra can help, then that would be the best way forward. If you really have a lot of thoughts, and some people have more than even the mantra can cope with, then maybe get yourself a piece of paper to sit with as you're meditating. And if you have something coming up, then write it down on the paper, and you know it's there for when you come to look at it later. And then you can feel that you have downloaded it onto the paper, and you don't need to have it in your head anymore. And after your meditation, you can come back and look at the paper, and I'm sure you'll find that it's just a whole lot of things which you never should have been bothered by in the first place. Yeah. Or it might be something important, but at least you've got it on paper then, and it's not cluttering up your head anymore. Yeah.
So yeah, I hope you can hear that, Safia. So basically just write down, taking notes, whatever that you think you can decluttering your mind onto the papers rather than, leave it into your mind, and then so you can kind of just carry on with your meditation or taking mantra. Just do it. So yeah. I think that's a good trick. That might help decluttering the mind. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. Is there anybody else? Thank you, Rana, for the question. And hello, Supana. Hello, Tony. Hi, Nancy. Haven't heard Nancy talking today because everyone's muted. I think she's busy. So yeah. So, yes, it's come to an end. And lovely meeting everyone here today. Well, my name is Natalie, by the way. I forgot to introduce myself, but Terry will know my name and you all know my name. So, yeah, hopefully to see you again in full moon time, next full moon, next year. And, before we go, shall we say thank you to our teaching monk by bowing 3 times. Bow. Bow, bow.
So may all of you have a very happy and harmonious festive season, and look forward to seeing you in the new year, probably around the middle of January onwards, pandemic allowing.
So pay respect to Lord Buddha by bowing 3 times. Bow, bow, bow. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So perhaps if we would like to take a group photo together at the end, just to keep it as a memory. Yeah, or just, taking a picture. I think our staff temple will come in and take some pictures and things. So, yeah.